Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. I am your host, Richie. Here with my guy, Mr. Idris Salam, a.k.a. Bosco from the Bronx.
Yo, what's up?
Chilling, Idris, chilling. Bella, I'm doing a show, so doggy, you need to stop doing whatever you're doing. All that shit.
Was Bella a dog?
Yeah. Yeah, have some coof.
Have some cameramen. Come on.
Y'all trying to get some airtime.
I think so. Okay. On tonight's show, we're going to be speaking on Yankee history being made today in the Bronx. Ben Rice becoming the first rookie ever to hit 3 home runs in the same game. Much needed victory for the Yankees. They have a chance to win a series tomorrow against the hated Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
Going to speak about Edwin Diaz's return. The team that we are suddenly chasing, the Baltimore Orioles, had a rough day out on the West Coast.
Whew.
Caitlin Clark, going to hit on her. We're going to hit on Bronny James playing in his first professional competition. And I've got a row of NFL hot takes pertaining to the AFC East and anything else that we decide to drop in along the way. We will be back in just a moment. Enjoy this intro. All right. We are back. Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. Idris, how are you?
Great, man. Doing well. It's hot.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Let me tell you something.
It's not as hot as Florida, though.
Bending the elbow in the Florida heat is not all that it's cracked up to be.
Look here, dude. I was sitting down today at work, and my arms were just sweating, and I wasn't doing nothing but sitting down. I was like, damn, it's hot.
You know it's real when you are having a drink by the water.
Yeah.
So naturally, you think you're going to get some sort of a breeze, and the fan is actually making it hotter.
Yeah.
Food was off the chain, so I will say that. But my God, is it hot? And it just kind of gives you like that extra fatigue.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for anybody who actually has to work outside in these conditions. It is less than ideal.
Yeah. Very less.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what is ideal.
Mm-hmm.
Kicking the crap out of our most hated rivals in something that almost looked like a football score. Yankees putting up 2 touchdowns in the Bronx.
Yes.
14-4 victory over the Red Sox. Ben Rice, as I already alluded to, the first rookie in New York Yankees history to hit 3 home runs in the same game off of 2 different pitchers. Had it been a third pitcher he would have hit it off of, that would have been approaching another level Reggie Jackson territory.
Glorious, man. Glorious.
Anytime
you do something like that against the Red Sox, it's a good day.
Now, this is an interesting tidbit on this kid Rice. He was called up from the farm from Scranton when Anthony Rizzo against these same Red Sox broke his forearm a little less than a month ago. Grows up in a family that were predominantly Red Sox fans. There was a picture all over IG today of his 2 siblings. He, however, even as a kid, grew up a Yankee fan. He was, I guess you could say, the black sheep in the family.
Mm-hmm.
And what's also kind of cool, according to something I read today on MLB.com, as a fan, at a Yankee Red Sox game, he wrote on Pesky's pole, Yankees rule. So this kid is truly living out his dream, playing for his childhood team and having the best game of his very young career.
Yeah.
But, I don't see this kid as like some flash in the pan Kevin Moss situation or any other youngster that came through the pipeline into the New York Yankee organization, because the thing that really gets me excited about this new player who, coming in was number 12 in MLB rookie pipeline is that he kind of has that veteran presence already. He has a very calm, humble demeanor. Like, he gets called out for a curtain call today.
Yeah.
And it was kind of wholesome, I guess you could say. He didn't even know where to go.
The good thing about it is the moment wasn't too big for him. You got Yankees, Red Sox. Everyone knows that's one of the biggest, if not the biggest rivalry in MLB history. You come out there in the Bronx, come on, everyone. Yeah, it's not the old Yankee Stadium, but it's still Yankee Stadium. It's still the Bronx. It's still Red Sox Yankees.
Yankee Stadium 1 and 2 together and made it into one.
Yeah.
My buddy Victor Q watching live while having an Imperial IPA. Those are tasty from Voodoo Ranger. Vic, thanks for hanging with us, man.
Word.
Thanks for hanging. I appreciate you.
I like what he did. He went out there and come on, man, I got balled out. The curtain call was a little awkward for him, But he's young guy, they call him out there,
Because Lord knows if I was good enough to play at that level.
Yeah.
And against that team, and the whole storyline of growing up a Yankee fan, bro, I'd be so damn nervous.
Yeah. Yeah. So
he had his helmet on. He looked so damn confused. Like Garrett Cole's pushing him, Jose Trevino pushing him up,
He didn't know what to do.
But I will say this. Even in a large victory, I'm still irritated with Aaron Boone.
Yeah.
Why the hell? I got to give AJ Przinsky, who was on the mics today doing this show, some credit. You're up 1-0 early. Man in scoring position. You have an open base at first, and Rafael Devers is one of the few guys in Major League Baseball who truly has Garrett Cole's number. Truly. Why would you pitch to him there?
Yeah, you got to pitch him.
I understand that Cole's a competitor, and he's going to give you his best, and he's going to go after whatever challenge.
Yeah.
But as a manager, you have to take that away. And as Przinsky said, he's 100% correct. You do not let the other team's best player beat you.
No. When
you have a lot of holes and a lot of swings and other players on that Red Sox team, I'm going to give Alex Cora some credit. This Red Sox team is ahead of schedule. They're not supposed to be in the playoff picture.
No.
He's getting a lot out of a very young team. And I do have to tip my hat and applaud the job that Alex Cora is doing. My old tax man actually grew up playing baseball with him back in Puerto Rico, which is pretty cool. And, Cora as a ball player, predominantly his best years with the Seattle Mariners, it's a scrappy guy, great baseball acumen, a smart guy. But back to Rice, man, Anthony Rizzo, he's got to be the most he's a professional through and through.
Yeah.
But I think Anthony Rizzo knows that when he comes off this injury, he's going to only be playing maybe once a week. Maybe twice a week, pinch hit duty, possibly later innings because of his glove.
Yeah.
But this kid is the future first baseman for the New York Yankees. I don't think this is no flash in the pan. I really don't. I think this kid is ready for these moments, and there's going to be a lot more of them. And when you consider that this team has had issues just in general, whether it's the pitching, whether it's scoring runs. They pick a day on how they're going to fail you.
Yeah.
Should have won both these games. One strike away in game one. I was too angry to even consider doing a show that night. But rubber match tomorrow in the Bronx. Going to be a good one. Juan Soto with the rare hitless game. But my God, what a performance.
I'm satisfied, man. To put up the number we put up against the Red Sox, consider how we've been on a pretty good bad slide of late. I'm sorry, we've been on a pretty bad slide as of late. Consider how we came out the gates. The first 80+ games.
Yes,
but to have this type of victory today at home, with tomorrow being able to take the series away.
Need one, man. We just for the morale. They're going to be in St. Petersburg next week. I'll be attending the final game of that series, and you have the All-Star game on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
We owe the Mets too. We got 2 coming up with them as well in our house this time. But I spoke to Corey just the other day, and he was like, "Jesus, we were the first team to 50 wins, best record in all of MLB." Ran into the Red Sox, and I said it to my buddy Jordan, former namesake here of the show. I said, "Bro, they got to win this series, kind of to flip the script, because the Red Sox were the team that was the first domino that kind of started this whole fuckery of this terrible, terrible. Dude, they've been the worst team in baseball over the course of the last 20 games, 20 games. They have to be in the best team in baseball for the first 60, 70 games or so."
Yeah. Here's the thing about it, and we weren't supposed to be as good as we were, but I expected us, with Cole coming back, for us to say, okay, we got our man back. Let's keep it going. But it's like we just took a dive. Like, got to get it together, man.
Yeah, and
it's
never one thing. I think it's been blatantly clear that the Yankees have to explore the option of getting another closer.
Yeah, we have to.
I think Clay Holmes is best suited to pitch in the 7th, possibly the 8th, be a setup man, occasionally snag a save. But I understand that guys have peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
But is that a guy I want pitching in October in a must-have 3-out situation where you got to get guys out? I've lost a lot of confidence in him, and I've been patient.
That's how we said at the beginning of the season. I said I felt he would be better as a bridge rather than a closer. Put him at the bridge, 7th, 8th. Just make him a bridge, man. Because he kind of reminds me of Aroldis Chapman when he gets on the mound.
Yeah, pure anxiety.
Yeah, like, oh, what's going to happen, man?
I was at work last night, and I was very busy, so I didn't get a chance to. I just naturally assumed that we were going to win the game. We were 1 strike away.
Yeah.
But when I was walking out and I actually had an opportunity to look at my phone and saw that we got beat, bro, I was gutted. And it's just 1 game.
Yeah.
That's the kind of game that'll get your ass fired.
Yeah.
That's the kind of game that as well as I do, the previous owner, the boss, George Steinberg.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, heads are rolling, bro. And I listen, winning cures everything. But it's only 1 game. Got to win a series tomorrow and just getting back to playing better baseball. I look at this roster and I'm like, these guys are a little too talented to slide like that. And, it's like anything else. You'd rather be sucking now as opposed to August, September.
Yeah.
But from Yankee victory, we're going to keep it in New York for a moment. Edwin Diaz, he's back from his suspension, closing the door in his return. No Francisco Alvarez today. He took a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Of course he did, because I just picked him up in fantasy in Johnson. From the sensational schemes out of Pittsburgh. That kid is going to be special.
Yeah.
Perhaps a guy that the Yankees will steal down the pike.
Hey, that'd be great.
You know that we pluck players from Oakland and Pittsburgh like it's 2 of our farm teams.
I think we're gonna talk about Oakland.
Whew. Yes, we are. Edwin Diaz. This is a guy that's needed. You know, we talk about the value of a good closer. Diaz has had a bumpy road since coming back. When Puerto Rico won that phenomenal game in the World Baseball Classic, celebrating, he had that injury.
Yeah,
missed all of last year. And this year, he's been a shell of who he actually should be.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it's timing, getting the rust off. And,
he
was starting to get his act together prior to getting the suspension.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who don't know, he got suspended for having some foreign substance on his hand. I'm not going to crucify the guy because they all do this crap.
Some just get away with it, but they all do.
And some of them get penalized in different ways. It depends who the the umpiring team is. Yeah, there's a lot of variables. But these New York Mets, they're in a similar situation. Rubber match tomorrow, a game they need. And I said it on the last couple of shows. These Mets look like they can legitimately hang around for the second half of the year and have an opportunity to play in October.
And you got to watch out for teams that hang around. Look at Philly a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Hung around and
Diamondbacks.
Hung around,
Series. Neither one of those teams won their division.
No, that's why you got to, teams like that, you have to keep an eye out on them. You have to, because like with the Mets, I'm always talking about the Mets, but the fact remains, man, they're playing some good ball over the last month, man.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing some good ball.
No question about it. And even with a little slippage, losing that series to the Nationals, the bottom line is, and I said it on IG the other day, look at them 4 weeks ago, look at them now.
Yeah.
If you're a Met fan and you're basically lurking right at 500, you cannot be any happier when you consider the injuries to Atlanta, the injuries to Philadelphia right now.
Yep.
The Mets are in striking distance. And with the new wild card situation where more teams stay alive, the Mets have as good a chance as anyone to get in. And I honestly believe they're going to be one of those wild card teams. I think they'll be joining their division foe, the Braves. A lot of baseball to be played, but I kind of like the Padres to be that other team. This team with Jason, 19-8. My God. It's one game.
Yeah.
But Irvin really got roughed up in this one. A guy that I dropped on my fantasy team. But sometimes you need games like this to evaluate what do you need moving forward.
Yeah.
And I'm a big advocate, no matter what season it is, that you could never have enough pitching. And I think in Baltimore's case, when you consider injuries to parts of that pen that helped them win the American League East last year that are not going to be returning this year, in addition to being in the market to get another starter, I wholeheartedly believe that the Orioles should be in the market similar to the New York Yankees of getting a closer. The name Liam Hendriks keeps popping off the page to me. The White Sox are a dead-end organization right now. They're going nowhere. They may very well be the best at being the worst. They are bad. They have fallen mightily from just a few years ago being a perennial contender in that division in the Central. So Liam Hendriks, among others, will be on the market to be traded to a contender. And, the Yankees have had Liam Hendriks' number, which is funny. So it's like, why not bring him in? It's not like he's going to hurt us, because we usually own him. But the Yankees need to upgrade the closing position, because if they, the teams that you have to worry about, and the Orioles are one of those teams. Craig Kimbrell is a nice piece. He's a veteran presence, but he's not the end all be all. They got to get somebody else in there too.
The Orioles got shellacked today. They got shellacked today. And they got beat by the A's, a team you should not lose 19-8 to.
That happens.
But I would, with the A's, I expected them to be more like the White Sox are.
Yeah, they're actually a little more respectable this year than most would project.
Yes, I would expect them to win. I thought they would lose 100 games this year. I really did. But they're scrappy. I mean, they're not playing like a team like, well, we get ready to move to Vegas, or we may not have a home. Let's just play. They're playing some baseball, man.
No question.
And I respect them for that, because a lot of teams in this position where you got an owner who's pretty much a knucklehead, you got fans who like, why are you leaving us? And they're like, forget y'all, get the hell out of, Oakland. We don't need you since you don't want to be here. But the players are out there, we're getting paid, and we're going to do our job. And I respect that. There's no quitting them. It's funny, even looking at the West, there's no way they're going to catch the Mariners. But if they go on a little run, they can catch some Rangers.
I mean, that is a very mediocre division, top to bottom.
Yeah,
I mean, the world champions are 8 games under 500. Now, granted, they've been missing people all season, but those goddamn Astros are back in it.
Yeah.
The Astros are back in it. I said it the other day. I'm picking them to win that division. They're going to find a way in the second half. I do not trust Seattle.
No, I don't trust Seattle.
They had too much time to bury them. They didn't take advantage. They did not.
They had the Astros. Astros was looking like booty.
Yeah.
They had the Astros like, you're not going to catch up. And
That's right.
Around now, the Astros, here come the Astros.
And I honestly think a lot of it is growing pains in terms of life without Dusty Baker.
Yeah.
Dusty
makes it different. He's just like Bochy.
Mm-hmm.
Bochy's is the business.
Absolutely.
Just like Bochy. Your manager matters. And they don't look like the same team they were, but they still have some grit to them because they wouldn't be catching up to the Mariners,
No.
I thought they were dead, man. A quarter way in the season, I thought they were dead.
Now, before we move along to the hardwood, I want to talk some Caitlin Clark, some Bronny James. Okay, back to Boone for a second. Okay, this is my issue here. Now, listen, let's see how it plays out.
Hold on. Before you start, let me get your soapbox ready for like that time that you went off for that fan some time ago.
That time? Oh yeah. Listen, the guy in the other dugout is a superior manager to Aaron Boone. Let me just get that out of the way. I mean it. I said it. It's the truth.
Yeah.
That guy in Toronto, that's the second manager, so to speak, Mr. Mattingly.
Mr. Matting, Donnie Bates.
He is a better manager than Aaron Boone.
I agree.
There are better managers than Aaron Boone. Okay, so whatever. He has a job. Got to do his best, whatever. If the Yankees don't get it done this year, I don't want to hear anything. Mm-mm. We got rid of Joe Girardi, a guy that led a baby bomber team in 17 that overachieved 1 game shy of the World Series. Mm-hmm. 1 game shy against the despicable 2017 Houston Astros. Mm-hmm. You have Joe Torre, 6 World Series trips, 4 victories. He got fired. I don't understand the Steinbrenner family's infatuation with Aaron Boone. Whoever manages any of my teams or coaches any of my teams, naturally I'm going to support them, just like whoever quarterbacks my Giants. We know that our guy has a lot of holes in his game. As long as he's under center, we support him.
Right.
But it's truly annoying to me that even today, we won on the 7 RBI day from a rookie. But why the hell, situationally, are you still pitching to Devers? It's those kind of things that separate the good ones from the pretending manager. I don't know. I don't understand what the logic could possibly be.
You know what? It's just like Buck Showalter. He's that manager that can get you to the door, but he can't get you through the door. I see Boone the same way because we've had great regular seasons, 100 wins, 90-something wins, We've had the wins. We've been to the playoffs. We've knocked on the door. But like with Showalter, with Boone, we can't get through the door.
And I could even forgive Buck a little more because I think Buck had the misfortune of the strike.
Buck built from the bottom to top. He built from the ground up. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think Buck to a level wears people out. Part of the personality is part of the reason. Mm-hmm. Do I think that he got thrown away a little too quickly with the New York Mets? Maybe. I know my man Richie Dorney was not pleased with that maneuver to get rid of him as quick as they did.
Yeah.
But sometimes your reputation precedes you too. Like, I'm not trying to be funny about any of this. But when we eventually move on from Aaron Boone, whether it's him making the decision or the organization, dude, can you honestly conceivably see this guy managing another team?
No.
Thank you. We're going to move it along to one of Idris's favorites, Miss Caitlin Clark, hosting the first triple-double. Oh, damn, he got the jersey out. In the history of the WNBA over the New York Liberty, 83-78. Yeah, that is very, very impressive.
Yeah.
This girl just keeps answering the bell whenever she's getting hated on, whenever she's getting challenged. And when I think about similarly to what Taylor Swift did to the NFL, what this young lady is doing for the WNBA, it's pretty amazing.
You know what? You know me. I've been a Caitlin Clark fan. I mean, I love me some Angel Reese. I'm an LSU fan, but you know, I've been a Caitlin Clark fan since the start, and I root for this girl because I like her. I like her humbleness. You know, she got that competitive nature. I love everything about this young lady. And people, and I don't like to use the word hate, but this is what it is. People just hating on her. This girl is basically single-handedly getting people to watch the WNBA.
Yes, indeed. And they're getting some prime position.
But you know, think about it, Richard,
that you've never seen before.
The main ones talking bad about her, they need to sit down and think like, why am I talking about? Because she's making an impact.
Yes,
that's why you're talking. Yes, because had she not been making an impact, you wouldn't be paying any attention to the WNBA. She got your eye. She got your attention. Whether it be negative, she got your attention. You're watching the games. You're making the ratings go up because you watch the game to see her lose, to see her fail. But the girl's not failing. They'll go out there and beat that Phoenix Mercury team with Brittany Griner and Diana Taurasi after she got all that yapping.
And Taurasi was talking a much.
Taurasi, and not only did they beat Phoenix, her numbers were better than Taurasi's.
Yeah, I saw that. And I like Diana Taurasi as well.
Yeah, I like her. Yeah.
But my thing is like, those are two big dogs in that league.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, going from college to the pros.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously we know Brittany Griner in her case was getting headlines for a completely different reason. At the end of the day, regardless of her views, I'm happy that she's back home.
Yeah, but let me say the shout out right quick.
Yeah.
I want to shout out to Aaliyah Boston. That's the center for the Fever. I call her the cleanup woman because she gets some rebounds, she gets some points. She's like the Carlo. Caitlin Clark is like the John Stockton, to where Aaliyah Boston is the Karl Malone.
Okay.
That girl balls. She doesn't get enough credit. But shout out to Aaliyah Boston. She's averaging like 18, 20 points a game. She gets the boards. And she's managed to she was the first round draft pick last season. She takes a step back so Caitlin Clark can get her shine. And I gotta respect that. She was the number 1 pick last year.
Yeah, it takes a lot of maturity. It takes a lot of maturity when you're a vested player in any professional league where you take a somewhat of a sidestep for the betterment of the bigger goal, the bigger picture. We saw it with Derek Jeter when the Yankees traded for A-Rod.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it with Patrick Ewing when the team made a lot of moves in the latter part of the 90s to give him more talent. It meant less shots. We saw it with Dwayne Wade when LeBron came to South Beach.
Yep.
You know, we've seen it time and time again. Steph Curry.
Yeah.
When KD came in.
Yep.
But, you know, Aaron Judge right now with Juan Soto.
Juan Soto. Yeah.
You know, but those two are supporting each other. You know, it's hard to imagine Juan Soto not staying. That's going to be something that builds up as the summer moves along. Yeah. But now to close this part with Caitlin Clark, man, it's great. It's truly great. And I know that a person like a Kobe Bryant would be smiling.
Oh, yeah.
Being the ultimate girl dad for that particular sport. You know, he was a huge advocate for the growth of women's sports. And, you know, like a lot of the legends, I understand that everybody's trying to hold their position, but you got to celebrate this because this young woman is bringing something to your league that nobody else has been able to bring.
In 20 plus years.
Yes, indeed.
She's doing it.
And it's not a gimmick. It's real.
She's filling seats, man.
Absolutely. From filling seats to filling a roster spot. Ronnie's pro debut, 4 points on 2 of 9 shooting in the opener of the California Classic against in-state rival, the Sacramento Kings. LeBron's kind of like on double duty because he's getting ready for the Olympics, looking for that 4th gold medal, but he's also being a dad. I don't think it's a secret that this kid has to do a lot of work. But having said that, I'm just not digesting any of this really well.
I'm not either, man.
Drafted with LeBron kind of holding it hostage, yeah. Even with basically telling other teams, "Oh yeah, you could draft him, but if it's not the team that I want him to go to," so you're picking your coaches. You're basically being Bronny's unofficial agent, and this is why I get pissed off with Adam Silver. If you take it back to a guy like David Stern, rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Not even the great Michael Jordan was able to avoid quote unquote discipline. Because if anybody thinks that Jordan's absence from the NBA from the conclusion of 93 until the middle of 95 was not an unofficial suspension, then you were not paying attention. That Richard Esquinas book that came out, the gambling, some of the less savory parts of Michael Jordan's off-the-court personality, him being the face of the league.
Yeah.
And I personally believe that Stern needed him to be forgotten about just a little. And then when you get forgotten about, now they're missing you. Now you come back, strike it like the hot iron.
Yeah, come on back.
You saw the way he disciplined our New York Knicks.
Yep.
97, costing us at the Eastern Conference Finals against Jordan's Bulls.
Hurt us.
He didn't play. That's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
When it came to protecting the logo, he did not play. And when I think about Adam Silver, I think that he is a little too lackadaisical with putting the hammer down and being like, "Yo, dog, are you a player? Are you a GM? Are you a coach?" It's too much influence. It's not right.
I think with Silver, he's so much into building this league. And I'm all for the players, making their money, getting their bread, doing everything. But it's getting to the point to where the league is becoming, it's a circus. And this is not, and people say, "Oh, you hating on LeBron, you hating on LeBron." Now, let's be honest. Are you just mad because you couldn't get your son to hire? I tell people, look, I went into the military. My daughter went to the military. I became a chef. My son became a chef. My son could have worked with me. Me and my daughter I could have went back in the reserves and been with my daughter. But you know what? My kids found their own way. I let them build their own thing, their own legacy. I didn't write their legacy. No, y'all do your thing. Now, they wind up doing what I did, but they did it on their own. Bronny, and this is nothing against Bronny, because Bronny's just a kid,
I got no bad fan.
Yeah, it's LeBron. Like, you put this kid in a position to fail. I know you want to get him, you want to play, but he did that for himself. He didn't do that for Bronny.
No.
He did that for himself. Now, the Lakers just said they're going to let him debut with LeBron and they're going to send him down to the G League. That's fine. But see, by them doing that.
What message are you sending
exactly
to somebody that's not part of this Royal James family that's busting their ass?
That's the point I'm making right there.
One of those spots. Same thing with Jordan. When he tried baseball, somebody was a victim of that bullshit, because at the end of the day, it's a publicity stunt. I understand it's a business. Yeah. And I'm never going to fault any father for going above and beyond and doing the next right thing for their kid. But nobody's going to tell me that this is right.
He scored 4 points a day, 2 of 9 shooting. His numbers like 4, 2, and 2.
Yeah.
Those were his college numbers.
Indeed.
The kid is not ready for the NBA.
And I want to make one thing clear. I'm not out on a smear campaign with this young man.
No.
I don't wish this young man bad. But at the end of the day, what's right is right. And nobody's going to tell me that kid is good enough to be drafted where he was. If he did not have
second round or not,
I'm sorry.
He wasn't he wasn't good enough. They said, yeah, but what about Giannis's brother? But Giannis's brother didn't get put in a position to be drafted or whatever.
And it's a growing theme, similar to when you have best friends that play college ball. I mean, I don't know if you saw episode 1 of Hard Knocks with the G-Men, But the Giants,
I did. Yeah,
the Giants were very close to bringing in Dexy's best friend.
Yeah,
but ultimately they valued getting the pass rusher. Man,
and see, that's the thing with the Lakers. The Lakers are now. This is not the Lakers of Magic. This is not the Lakers of Kareem. This is not the Lakers of Kobe. These Lakers now is more of a sideshow.
Yes,
and I feel bad. And I remember when LeBron was first going to LA, I told Laker fan, I said, you're about the worst fan base in the history of sports is about to corrupt your fan base. The LeBronians. That's what I call them, the LeBron. I think I made that word up. Somebody said, I said, no, I made up the LeBronians. They're going to be the worst fan base. And I look at a lot of pages, Laker pages, all they do is trash the greats. And I said, this is what they do. This is why LeBron gets the hate he gets. And with LeBron, and I'm going to tell you, LeBron's a great player. Do I have him in my top 3? No, I got him around number 8. And when we have another show, I'll name why I got him at number 8 in another show. But since he's gotten there, it's been a manipulative game. Do it this way. We're going to do it that way. He undermined. He said, well, he never had a great coach because great coaches don't want to coach him. The one great coach he had was Spoelstra. He tried to get him fired. But Riley said, no.
But that's the thing that bugs me out. It's like we talk about his failures on the grand stage.
Mm-hmm.
4 out of 10, that's not great.
That's not great. I don't care what sports you play.
That's not great. Not at that level.
No.
And when you consider that this is a guy that stays getting rid of coaches, it makes you beg to question, would he benefit more? Would he benefit more if he actually just wrote it out a little more? Because one of the sad things about his legacy, and I don't think it's as flawed as, say, Kevin Durant. I don't. There's other players that have worse legacies than him, because the one thing LeBron has that you have to give him, no matter how you like him, you don't like him, whatever. He won everywhere he won. And I will always praise him for that much.
Yeah.
And from just a singular talent level, for those old school NBA heads, I would say that he has a skill set similar to a few different players. Scottie Pippen on some metrics, because he could play the point forward position. Yeah. Some metrics to Magic Johnson's game as well. But if there's one particular player that LeBron reminds me of the absolute most, now granted, I did not see this guy play, but I've done my homework on this guy. Elgin Baylor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe Elgin Baylor is the prime example for saying he was like the LeBron of his era in certain ways. Oddly enough for the Lakers too, but no, it's just the whole holding everybody hostage thing that I think people get turned off with. I mean,
and that's what his fans don't understand is his fans think that we're hating. No, look at the facts, man. It's like I always felt in my with me, I felt his best season to me was 2007 when he took that team to the NBA Finals and got swept by.
Oh yeah,
I feel that was his best thing because he was still young, 3rd year, 4th year, but he took that team to the NBA Finals. I was
very much a LeBron fan prior to his departure from Cleveland, and it wasn't because he left the Cavaliers. It was the way he did it.
The way he did it. I think he stayed in Miami.
Decision thing.
If he'd have stayed in Miami and let Spoelstra run that team, they might have won some more titles.
If he would have stayed for a decade, this man would have probably 10 rings.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I understand his need to go back to Cleveland to make it right, so to speak. But truth be told, you could ask Shaquille O'Neal, another great, who had, let's be real, Shaquille had a little mercenary in him too.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing with Shaq was he admitted that one of his career regrets was leaving Orlando before finishing the deal.
Yep.
And he publicly apologized to Penny Hardaway on a forum that they did together. A lot of people forget that very briefly, as too much far removed from the tandem that they were in Orlando. for about a week and a half to 2 weeks, they actually did share the court as members of the Miami Heat. It was right after the New York Knicks released Penny Hardaway. And, Penny similar to a T-Mac, similar to a Grant Hill, similar to a D Rose.
D Rose,
they had those moments where they'll show you that brilliance briefly, but the sad part is between Father Time and the injuries, rob those kind of players. Because, man, let me tell you, Penny Hardaway, that dude was cold. And Michael Jordan showing the ultimate respect to rock his shoes, Penny's shoes. Now, granted, they were both athletes for Nike, but still, like for Penny Hardaway to be like a leading vote getter, man, Penny was different, man.
Penny reminded me of George Gervin. He was so smooth. Penny was something.
Yes, around the rim, for sure. And I think that he had the full attribute list where he could have made a comparable impact to a Irvin Magic Johnson. Had he not succumbed to injuries. Now, you talk about Shaquille. I think without even questioning it, Shaq would tell you his two best teammates were number 1, Kobe Bryant, number 2, Dwayne Wade. But Shaq also said that Penny was Kobe before Kobe. Now, while I don't necessarily put them in the same stratosphere of every aspect of their games, Penny, before the injuries, he took it above the rim. To your point with Gervin, very silky, smooth finisher. Could get powerful when he needed to. But just the court vision, so many aspects of Penny's game, and it was so short-lived. That's the crappy part about it. But it's cool to see a lot of these old basketball heads get on these round tables and really talk about the golden era, because you learn stuff that you never heard before. And I love hearing Kevin Garnett going.
Garnett could tell a story, man.
Yeah, he certainly could. He's like the Hulk Hogan of the NBA with that shit.
He can tell a story,
so,
man.
Bronny, I wish you luck, but I think Dad needs to let Bronny just kind of organically develop.
Yeah, I agree. Let that kid be a kid. Let him learn. Let him, if he got a G League 2, 3, 4 years, so be it. But let the boy learn the game, because he's not ready for the big time.
Like Nas told Nature on The Bridge Is Over. I can't hold your hand through all of this.
Right.
NFL hot takes. These are mine. I'm going to see if Idris agrees.
Oh, here we go. Let's go.
Starting with the Miami Dolphins. Make or break year for head coach Mike McDaniel. Odell Beckham Jr., one of our former favorites, will return to form and be a grand beneficiary from playing in an offense featuring Hill and Waddle, where they throw the ball at such high frequency. I have a feeling that what we thought we might have seen from Odell with the Ravens, what we saw briefly from Odell with the Rams, I think this might be his last hurrah to remind people how talented he still is.
I agree. I think with Waddle and Hill, they both can ball. They both can fly. I think you bring OBJ in there, he'll probably play the slot or something. Or whatever. But I think he'll have a good year. If he can stay healthy, I think he'll have a good year, because what he has on the corners with him, Waddle and Hill.
I might be overstating this.
Yeah.
Just random numbers popping in my head. I might be 888 receiving yards, which would be third best on the club. 7 TDs. You're going to vulture 7 TDs this year.
I could see that.
Most importantly, this is a different Odell. This is not the Odell that's kicking nets and, showing up with Lil Wayne shitting on his quarterback. This guy has humbled down quite a bit, and it comes with maturity, it comes with age. It's no secret that he wants to win another Super Bowl, and it's no secret that he wants to be a little more of a piece to it. I mean, granted, he had a phenomenal Super Bowl before the injury, but I think he was very close last year. But he has shown a grand maturity. When Odell really sold me on how much he has grown up, I'm going to take it back to 2019 when they defeated, he was a Ram now, 2020, I should say. They defeated the 49ers. And before celebrating amongst his teammates, he went over to the 49er bench and consoled Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
That showed me a lot of maturity that this young man did not have as a member of the Giants or the Browns.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's just with Miami. I think Miami's strength will be their downfall. They love to throw the ball, but when
they need more balance, and it's so weird because you look at a dude like Raheem Mostert. By the way, that's going to be. I got him like round 17 or 18 or something ridiculous. Now, granted, he benefited from Devin Achan being injured most of the year. They're kind of on a 50-50 split, sprinkle in a little Jeff Wilson last year. But the point is, the Miami Dolphins have to be a little more committed to the run if they just want to be the super duper complete offense that I think they have the ability to be. I got them as a fringe playoff team.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced that their defense is going to be as good as people expect. I got them barely missing the playoffs this year. Barely missing. But I think Odell's going to have a nice little season.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way about it because Buffalo seems to have them. And it's hard to play up in Buffalo. It's hard to play in KC. It's hard to play in Pittsburgh. It's hard to play in these cold weather cities with them. We've seen that. You get them in the cold, it's like they don't know where to go.
Yes. So. The best I saw from Miami was a couple of seasons ago with Skylar Thompson, of all people, because Tua was injured. Bridgewater was injured. And, Buffalo was very vulnerable. They got exposed in the very next week against Cincy. But the point is that they went into Buffalo and damn near stole one in the playoffs. But I don't know. McDaniel, I think you have to take the next step this year to secure your job. I really mean that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is it. If they miss the playoff, I think he's gone.
All right. So we're on the same track on that one.
Miss the playoff, he's gone.
Way too early.
And I think they got to win a playoff game.
Yeah. I think so.
A playoff game.
Yeah, for sure. Because Flores got them close. That was a very controversial thing, the way it went down with Flores. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this one. I got them finishing third, but there's so much time before the previews. We may very well change our minds when that comes around.
I'll say third.
From the fish to gangrene. New York Jets, this is my verbiage here. With a healthy Aaron Rodgers under center, the Jets will not only compete for an AFC East crown, they will make a deep playoff run. I'm doing a discount double check on that. I think Aaron Rodgers realizes that he has limited time left in the league. And I wholeheartedly believe that he knows that he has to do it now or it's just not going to happen, getting that elusive second Super Bowl. And he would become only the second quarterback to win in each conference. Of course, the first one is the other number 12, Tom Brady. Rodgers, by the way, currently wears 8. He was allowed to wear 12. Joe Namath gave him the okay, but Rodgers is choosing to go his college number. This team has the defense.
Yeah.
This team has, in my opinion, the right coach to coach in a very tough media market. You're getting Breece Hall back, who after a lower extremity injury, I think it takes a little time, but he's going to be ready. Mike Williams is a questionable one, but he could be a huge beneficiary if he stays healthy. Awesome. I look at this team's rotational pieces. I'm not sure if Hassan Reddick's happy about being there. I'll be honest. He hasn't shown me that yet.
Yeah, he hasn't shown it yet.
That could be the wild card there.
Yeah.
But I got this Jets team. It's a 3-team race. It's the Dolphins, it's the Jets, it's the Bills. They all have imperfections in their own way. But I think the Jets, if they're healthy, have the least issues amongst the three of them. And I am picking them, way too early, mind you, to win this AFC East. They need a quarterback. That was the holdup last year. Rodgers got hurt. 5 plays into his Jet career.
I'm with you 100%. I feel if the team can stay relatively healthy, if Rodgers can stay healthy, yeah, I think they'll do a deep run, maybe run to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
if
I
Rodgers
think
doesn't do it,
they'll be in the conversation. It's Baltimore's got to be in the convo as well as the Chiefs.
Oh yeah. If Rodgers, but this is his last hurrah. I don't think after the Jets, I don't think anyone else will sign him.
Not at his age.
Yeah, and you know, I like Rodgers. I like Rodgers' demeanor because he has that look. Look, I live my life my way, and I respect him for that. And I think with him, a lot of teams are not gonna, you know, it rubs people the wrong way. Let's be real. You know, they stay healthy.
People
make a deep
too
run.
much time worrying about that shit.
Yeah.
I go, why do we know him? Do
Yeah.
we give a damn if he's doing psychedelics in dark rooms? I don't give 2 shits.
You know what I like about it? He's keeping it real about it. A lot of players, I don't do this.
Or about the Pfizer thing, him and Travis Kelce were having a little fun with each other. You know, like, bro, I could give 2 shits.
Yeah, okay.
I know you, and I pay attention to you because you're one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever do it. He needs that second Super Bowl to solidify the legacy because he left a little bit on the table, so to speak, in Green Bay.
Or at least get there. At least Brett Favre got there back-to-back years. He got beat by a real good Denver team.
He did, and my late father always questioned, man, why did Elway know exactly where the podium was?
Yeah, that is kind of strange.
If old man was still alive, he'd be like, how come Biden doesn't know where the podium is? All right. From the New York Jets to the New England Patriots, Brett's boys. While I believe the Patriots got it right with Drake May at quarterback, they do not have enough juice on offense to compete with the more complete teams. Sorry, Chanel. I know you're a Patriot fan.
Yeah.
But they might be good for the occasional upset. Like, they always seem to nip Buffalo once.
Mm-hmm.
I almost said Bill Belichick. The Patriots have had the Jets number for a very long time.
A long time.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But this is the year that stops.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. With the exception of the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, with the exception of the Carolina Panthers, I believe that this New England Patriot team may very well be the second worst team in the NFL. I don't think anybody's worse than Carolina right now.
I can't dispute that.
Even Arizona, if they stay healthy, could be a little better than the worst.
I think Arizona might be pretty good this year. But, yeah, I agree. New England, I think they got it right at quarterback, but they just don't have enough, man.
I'm happy that they're bringing back a player that I actually admire his game and Ramondre Stevenson. They have some pieces on defense. But this is what I'm thinking, right? If the Patriots are like 0-6, 1-7 at the midway point, trade deadline approaching, do they deal Matthew Judon? Does he want to spend his prime years for a team that is going to be a basement dweller?
You got to think about it, man.
Yeah, I mean, Christian Gonzalez, that kid is the goods, but it's going to take some time. And I wish Gerard Mayo the best because as a player, that's a dude that I legitimately liked watch.
Came up in the system.
I personally believe he would have been a Hall of Famer had he played a few more years.
Yeah, came up in the system, man, in the organization. Yeah, with them, I mean, it's early too right now, but I'm saying they're sealing in 6 games, and that might be generous because in the AFC East, golly, they're so deep now. Buffalo, I think Buffalo will be better. Because I guess we got to talk about Buffalo, so I'll just wait.
Oh no, you gotta wait. They're right here.
Oh, okay. Anyway, that's what I'm gonna say. I think now that Diggs is gone, I think Josh Allen will be more relaxed because he doesn't have to, force the ball to Diggs. Because he still threw a lot of interceptions. He has Cook back there.
He's a gunslinger through and through.
And we see once they changed OCs. They start relying more on the run. They look damn good. Don't know why they stopped running in the playoffs.
In that kind of weather, especially, You gotta be
run the ball.
And I get it. Josh Allen is the type of ball player that is not afraid to take on linebackers, but as he gets older and more miles on that body, you got to be a little more responsible with okaying as much as he runs. I mean, I'll be honest. I understand that Patrick Mahomes might be the best. I understand that Lamar Jackson does a lot on his own. And there's a couple of other guys that we can mention. But I personally don't think any quarterback in the NFL does more for his team consistently than Josh Allen.
Yeah.
But this particular brand of Bills football, I'm set it down here. I believe that Khalil Shakir, who had quite the connection with him last season, actually outdoing Diggs on some metric.
Yeah.
Career year for that guy. Keon Coleman out of FSU, I think that he's going to rise among the absolute best in rookie receivers. We know it goes without saying that Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be up there. I think this kid Coleman is going to surprise a lot of people. And I think our man Malik Neighbors is going to ball out similarly to how a young Odell did, another LSU product for our Giants. But I got them being in a position to win this division late in the season. I still think it's the Jets' division to lose. I got Buffalo as a playoff team, possibly at the back end of it, similar to how they got in last year. The difference is they won the division and bumped up their stature. But it's still the same story until they prove something different. Is the defense going to step up enough to compensate, help out a little? Josh Allen does a lot, but I'm with you on being more relaxed. Great quarterbacks find ways to get it done with no matter who they're throwing the ball to. And his counterpart in the AFC, Mr. Rodgers, did it for years.
Yeah, I agree. Everything you said, I agree with, man. I like to see. I really do want to see what they do this year without Diggs. As I think he'll be able to get the ball. Or Coleman. I think Coleman's going to be a star, man.
Yeah, I liked his game at FSU. Johnny Wilson, a little more green. Man, let me tell you, that's a dude that I wanted us to draft. Johnny Wilson. Now, this is the ideal situation, and this is Richie thinking about fantasy land. Josh Allen is disgusted with the direction of the Bills organization. He demands a trade to the New York Football Giants to reunite with his man, Brian Dable.
Hey.
Crazier things have happened, but I'm not holding my breath on that one. But Joe Shane did draft him.
Hey, I'll welcome him. I'll welcome him.
No doubt.
Trade blue for blue. Well, we had that. Well, we won't be wearing the Century red, but Century uniforms, but still blue for blue. It's coming down the pike.
Before we get out of here, I want to make two notes. A couple of people that are lost. Kyrie Jackson.
Yeah, sad.
Very sad. 3 young people lost their lives. Alcohol behind the wheel involved. Kyrie was not behind the wheel. He lost his life. I feel for his parents. I feel for his family. When you consider that when you come into the NFL and you are your family's shining star, so to speak, and you can change the trajectory of so many lives in your family, and to have it all just go up that quickly, it's devastating. There's no other word.
Yeah.
Regardless of the decision making, more facts are going to come out as this is an ever evolving story. I just, on behalf of everybody here at the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast, I want to send our heartfelt condolences. I'm sad because week 1 we play these Vikings, and this was a player that I was looking forward to seeing compete against us. And now we're, as football fans, we're robbed of that. More importantly, a family is someone that's very important. And I am legitimately sad for that. Idris, I noticed you made a post the other day, and I made a mention to you that I wanted to give you an opportunity to honor your friend who was lost this week as well.
Rick Milan. Yeah, good dude, man. I knew him when I was growing up. I was young. I mean, he had a few years on me. True hip hop head. When I mean true hip hop head, and even in his later years, he kept the culture alive. I mean, the guy, great dude, man, real great dude. We didn't really touch base again until maybe up until about 2 years ago. We hit each other on. He was like, he asked because he knew my brother more than he knew me because I was, my little, yo, ain't you Mike's little brother? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you remember me? And yeah, I remember you, and we became Facebook friends, man. And it had been, golly, it's been 40 years since I seen him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I'm so glad I got to talk to him over the last couple of years and, laugh and joke about the stuff that went on and how it's a rapper named Cool Kyler Starchild. He's one of the original pioneers. How me and my friends used to come up the street and he would always have, his dogs used to chase us. And the dogs would chase us home. And then him and Rick would just laugh. So, shouts out to Rick, man. Rest in peace. Good guy. True hip hop head.
Yeah, and I'm sure reconnecting with him, I imagine he was probably pretty ecstatic.
Yeah.
You filling him in about your journey and some of the things that you have done creatively, being essentially from that golden era, the boom bap era of hip hop.
Yeah, he was surprised I was still DJing. Man, you still DJing? I'm like, yeah, man, I ain't never stopped, I can't stop, man. He's like, all right, go.
If you want to find out to the viewers how Idris made his first turntable, go into the catalog and find Fan Focus, Idris Salam, Bosco from the Bronx.
I was nervous too.
A very hilarious story about how his mother reacted to his carpentry.
I was nervous. I was nervous when I did the show, man.
I was nervous, and it didn't even involve me. Because believe me, I've been on the receiving end of a couple of those when I thought I was Bob Vila. Until next time, he is Idris. I am Richie. Idris, thank you for sharing that. Much love.
Oh, yeah.
High reverence for that era, undeniably. If you haven't already, please make it a point to like and subscribe to the channel. Richie X Jr. Sports Podcast on YouTube. Haters, take it to the building. Mr. Salam, a Clark and Reese fan. And this is what I mean. You can support both of them. Because as much as people want to be on one side or the other, these two young women have a high reverence for each other.
I'm going to get me a flag like Tony Kornheiser on PTI.
Oh, wow.
With a Caitlin Clark face on.
Sure. Him and Wilbon together were pretty damn funny.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
We're going to keep it coming. More divisional hot takes to come on future shows. And, we're going to keep talking about it. Hopefully you could avoid a Richie rant. Maybe the Yankees will actually win 2 in a row.
We need a Richie rant. We need another Richie rant.
Ain't going to happen today. Love and peace. Have a great night, everyone.